Okay, so diving right in today, we're looking at large language models, and everyone's heard of those the AI systems that can write like humans,
Yeah.
but they're not perfect. And one of the big problems they have is that they hallucinate things. Like they come up with facts that aren't actually real.
Right, exactly. They make stuff up.
And so we're going to look at this thing called decoding by contrasting layers, or DoLa, and it's a way to make these LLMs less likely to hallucinate.
Yeah, and so DoLa is like it uses the way that the model itself understands information at different stages and basically tries to pull out the most accurate stuff.
I see. So it's like it's using the model's own structure to kind of double check itself.
Exactly.
That's pretty clever. And we've got this this awesome guide here that explains DoLa really well.
Yeah.
It talks about, the ideas behind it and how to actually use it and everything.
Yeah, it's pretty comprehensive.
Yeah. So our goal today is to really understand how this DoLa thing works and why it might be so important for making these AI systems more reliable.
Absolutely. Yeah, and that's key, because if we're going to rely on these models, we need to be able to trust them.
Yeah. Okay, so first off, why do these LLMs even hallucinate in the first place? I mean, they're supposed to be so smart, right?
Well, it really comes down to how they're trained. They're trained on these massive amounts of text.
Right.
And they basically learn to predict the next word in a sequence.
Okay.
But the problem is that they're focused on what sounds plausible, not necessarily what's actually true.
It's like they're kind of optimizing for fluency.
Right.
Over accuracy in a way.
Exactly. Yeah, they're like really good storytellers.
Right.
But not necessarily journalists.
Yeah.
Or fact checkers.
I get it, yeah.
And the guide gives this great example. It talks about Llama 2 and how if you ask it what the capital of Washington State is,
right,
it might say Seattle.
Oh, yeah, I read that.
Which is wrong, obviously.
Yeah, most people know it's Olympia.
Yeah, exactly. But the model has seen Seattle and Washington together so many times in its training data,
right,
that it just assumes that's the most likely answer.
Even though it's not true.
Even though it's not true, yeah.
Wow, okay, so that's kind of the heart of the problem that DoLa is trying to solve.
Well, exactly. DoLa is all about finding ways to get around that issue.
Okay. So how does it do that? What's the core concept behind this contrasting layers thing?
So basically these LLMs are built on these things called transformer architectures, which have a bunch of layers.
Okay.
And DoLa looks at two types of layers. Premature layers, which are the early layers, and mature layers, which are the later ones.
I see.
And the idea is that the early layers are focused on the more basic stuff, like grammar and sentence structure, while the later layers are where the model starts to really understand the meaning and the facts.
So it's like the information gets more refined.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like it goes through this kind of truth filter.
Interesting.
And DoLa basically amplifies that.
Okay.
By contrasting the information from the early layers with the information from the later layers.
I'm following.
And this is really cool because it suggests that the model has this kind of built-in mechanism for figuring out what's true and what's not.
Right.
And DoLa just helps it use that mechanism more effectively.
I see. So what actually happens in this contrasting process? Like how does it actually work?
So DoLa looks at these things called logits, which are basically the model's confidence scores for each possible next word.
Right.
And it takes the logits from an early layer and subtracts them from the logits of a later layer.
Subtracts. Okay.
Yeah. And that might sound weird.
Yeah, it does a little bit.
But the idea is that this subtraction boosts the probability of words that gain confidence as the information moves through the model.
I'm starting to get it.
So words that are associated with facts are more likely to have their scores increase in the later layers, while words that are just grammatically correct but not true might not get that same boost.
Right. I'm with you.
And so by doing this subtraction, DoLa is basically telling the model to focus more on the words that are likely to be true.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So it's kind of like weighting the answers towards the ones that the model is more certain about.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Okay. Now, I know from the guide that DoLa isn't something you can just switch on in the normal Hugging Face Transformers library.
Right.
So if someone wanted to try this out, what would they actually have to do?
Yeah, so it's a bit more hands-on.
Okay.
You have to use the code from the DoLa GitHub repository.
Okay.
So first you would clone the repo.
Right.
And then you'd install the dependencies.
Okay.
And it's really important to have a good GPU.
Right.
Because these models can be pretty big.
Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah, so for something like Llama 2.7b, they recommend having at least 10 gigabits of VRAM.
Okay, 10 digs.
Yeah. And you also need the right version of CDA, which is 11.7, and maybe some other libraries like Flash it in.
Okay,
So yeah, definitely check the readme file in the repo.
got it. Yeah, make sure you have all the right stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so once you've got all that set up, how do you actually tell the model to use DoLa?
So instead of using the normal Hugging Face from a pre-trained function,
Yeah.
we use a similar function from the DoLa library.
Okay.
It's something like from DoLa, import DoLa model for causal LM.
Okay, so it's from DoLa.
Yeah, yeah. But the exact import statement might be slightly different.
Right.
So just check the documentation.
Got it. Okay, and then the guide talks about something called static layer selection.
Right.
What's that all about?
So with static layer selection, you basically choose a specific early layer and a specific mature layer.
Okay.
And those are used for the entire text generation process.
I see, so it's like fixed.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And they give an example using Llama 27B,
Right.
which has 32 layers.
Okay.
And they suggest using layer 15 as the premature layer.
Okay.
And layer 31 is the mature layer. But it's really important to get the indexing right.
Right.
Because they specifically say not to use 16 and 32.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, so you really got to pay attention to that.
Yeah, exactly.
So how do you actually specify those layers in the code?
So you create this configuration object,
Right.
usually a dictionary called DoLa config,
Okay.
and you define a key called early exit layers
Mm-hmm.
and set it to a list with the index of your early layer.
So 15 in this case.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then another key called mature layer
Right.
and set that to the index of your mature layer.
Which is 31.
Right.
Right.
And then you pass that DoLa config to the from pre-trained function.
When you're loading the model.
Exactly.
Okay, and so once you've loaded it that way, you can just use the normal model.generate command.
Yep, that's right.
Okay, cool. So it's like it's all happening behind the scenes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now there's also this thing called dynamic layer selection. What's that about?
So with dynamic selection, the model chooses the best early layer at each step of the generation.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it's not fixed.
No, it's much more flexible.
Okay.
And it uses these metrics like entropy or Jensen-Shannon divergence.
Okay, I'm familiar with those.
Yeah, so these metrics basically help the model understand how much uncertainty there is
Right.
in the different early layers.
Okay.
And so it can choose the layer that's most useful.
I see. I see. So it's like it's making a more intelligent decision at each step.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. To enable that, you just set dynamic layer selection to true in the config.
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
And there are some other parameters you can tweak as well.
Okay.
But yeah, the main thing is to make sure you understand the layer indexing for your model.
Right, right. Because it's different for every model.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's all pretty technical.
Uh-huh.
For someone who wants to just try double out, the guide mentions a Google Colab tutorial.
Oh, yeah, that's a great way to get started.
Okay, what does that involve?
So you just open a new Colab notebook, and then you install the necessary libraries.
Like transformers and all that?
Yeah, exactly. Transformers, datasets, accelerate.
Right.
And then you clone the DoLa repo
Okay.
and install the DoLa requirements.
Got it.
And then you can load the model using the DoLa code.
With the static layer configuration.
Yeah, exactly. They use layers 15 and 31 as an example.
For Llama 27B.
Right.
Okay.
And then they show you how to generate outputs with both DoLa decoding and standard decoding.
So you can compare them.
Exactly.
And you can play around with the config.
Yeah, definitely try different prompts.
Different layers.
Different layers, yeah. See what happens.
That sounds like fun. Okay, now, what about if someone wanted to take this a step further and really evaluate how well DoLa works?
Right?
The guide mentions a factual consistency evaluator project.
Yeah, that's a cool idea.
What's involved in building something like that?
So first, you need a good data set of questions with clear factual answers.
Okay.
They mention truthful QA is a good example.
So a bunch of questions where we know the right answers.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
And then you set up two pipelines, one using standard decoding
Right.
and one using DoLa.
Okay.
And then you run both pipelines on the data set.
Okay.
And you compare the results.
Got it.
The simplest metric is just accuracy.
Like how many questions did each pipeline answer correctly?
Exactly, yeah.
All right.
But there are also more advanced metrics like BERT score and Rouge and FACT score.
Okay. Yeah, those are all for us.
Yeah, so you can use those to get a more nuanced picture of how well each method is doing.
I see.
And then to make things easier, you could build a simple web interface.
Oh, yeah, like a little app.
Yeah, exactly, using something like Streamlit or Flask,
Right.
where you can input a question and see the answers from both pipelines.
That would be cool.
Yeah, and then you can analyze the results, see how much DoLa improves accuracy,
Right.
maybe even find the optimal layer configurations.
For different models.
Yeah.
Awesome. The guide even gives a code snippet for evaluating a single prompt.
Oh yeah, that's a good starting point.
Yeah. Okay, now it's important to be realistic. What are some of the limitations of DoLa?
So one potential trade-off is between accuracy and fluency.
Okay.
So DoLa might make the outputs more accurate,
Right.
but they might also be a bit less natural sounding.
I see.
And there's also a computational cost.
Okay.
Because DoLa uses multiple layers, it can be about 15% slower.
15% slower.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so that's something to consider.
Just like if speed is important.
Right.
Yeah.
And DoLa is mainly designed for autoregressive models.
Like Llama 2 and GPT-2.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It might not work as well for encoder-decoder models like T5.
Right.
And the choice of metrics for dynamic selection can also make a difference.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. What about troubleshooting? What if someone runs into problems?
Yeah, the guide has some good tips.
Okay.
For ohm errors, you can try reducing the batch size
Okay.
or using gradient checkpointing.
Right. For layer index errors, make sure you're using the right indexing from the model's documentation.
Right. Yeah, double check that.
Yeah, and for dependency issues, check the readme file in the DoLa repo.
Got it. Okay, so what kind of results have people actually seen with DoLa? The guide mentioned some benchmarks.
Yeah, so the DoLa paper showed a 12% improvement in factual accuracy on truthful QA.
Wow, 12%. That's pretty significant.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
For Llama 2 7B.
Right.
Okay.
They also saw smaller improvements on reasoning tasks like strategy QA,
Okay.
between 1% and 4%.
Right.
And they also found that DoLa helped with chain of thought reasoning.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that's where the model explains its reasoning step by step.
Right.
And DoLa seemed to make those explanations more accurate.
Okay, that's really cool. And the guide lists some resources for people who want to learn more.
Yeah, they link to the DoLa repo, the paper, the Truthful QA dataset.
Hugging Face Docs, Google Colab, Streamlit.
Yeah, all the good stuff.
Awesome. Okay, so to sum up, it sounds like DoLa is a really promising technique for improving the factual accuracy of LLMs.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a clever way to use the model's own structure to its advantage.
And while there are some limitations,
Right.
the potential benefits are huge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we can make these models more trustworthy, it opens up so many possibilities.
Yeah. It really makes you think about how we'll be interacting with AI in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Like, will we even be able to tell the difference between human-generated text and AI-generated text?
That's a great question. And if we can't tell the difference, does it even matter?
Right. And what other techniques will they come up with to make these models even better?
Yeah, it's exciting to think about.
It is. Well, thanks for joining me for this deep dive.
It was my pleasure.
It's been really fascinating. And for everyone listening, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.